So you've got this amazing idea for a comic, right? You get all fired up, you open your favorite AI tool, and then bam, frustration hits. Your hero just refuses to look the same from one panel to the next. If that sounds painfully familiar, don't worry, you are in exactly the right place. We are about to crack this thing wide open. The AI comic struggle. Man, is it real. It feels less like you're creating a story and more like you're fighting with your own tools. And it turns out that's a super common feeling for pretty much everyone trying to do this. So let's just break down what is actually going on here. Oh yeah, you know the feeling. It always starts with this huge rush of excitement. You've got your hero, you've got the vibe, the story is ready to burst out of you. You type in what you think is the absolute perfect prompt, you hit enter, and the first image comes back and it's close. Kinda, so you try again. And there it is, panel 3, the moment of truth. You line them up and wait, who is that? Your hero has been replaced by a stranger, like some weird long-lost cousin. This is hands down the biggest roadblock in making AI comics, and if you felt that pain, trust me, you are not alone.
All of a sudden your character's got a totally different face, their body type is kind of shifted, and wait, where did that jacket come from? You definitely did not ask for that jacket. It's honestly enough to make you just want to scrap the entire project.
But here is the single most important thing I want you to take away from this. It is not your fault. Seriously. Once you see what's actually happening under the hood, I promise a lot of that frustration is just going to disappear.
Exactly. This isn't happening because you're bad at prompts. You're not missing some secret magic word. The problem isn't with you, the artist. The problem is baked right into the DNA of the tool itself.
And this is it. This is the core issue. It's a fundamental mismatch between how AI thinks and how comics work. You're trying to tell a continuous story with a tool that was designed, by default, to make cool one-off images. Once you really get that, everything else starts to make a whole lot more sense.
So let's pull back the curtain a little bit. Why does the AI forget your hero? Why does it have total amnesia from one panel to the next? Well, it all comes down to this basic conflict in how they operate.
Just look at this. It lays it all out so clearly. Comics are sequential, they're story-driven, and they depend on continuity. But a typical AI model? For every prompt, it's a completely fresh start. It thinks panel 2 has nothing to do with panel 1. No memory. At all.
And that word, continuity, it's the bedrock of all of this. It's just the simple idea that your character and their world should stay the same from one moment to the next. It's the visual glue holding your story together, and it's the exact thing the AI has no clue about, unless you force it to.
To the AI, your hero isn't a person. It's just a pile of data. It doesn't get that the scar on their cheek is a crucial character detail. It's not trying to remember the face from the last panel. It's just generating a totally new one based on the words you just gave it.
Think of it like this. Every time you hit generate, you're basically just rolling the dice. And here's the crazy part. Even if you use the exact same prompt, you'll get a different result. That randomness is great for brainstorming, but for making a comic, it is a complete nightmare. You've got to have an anchor to hold your character down, otherwise you're just gambling every single panel.
So, how do we fix this? The great news is the answer isn't to just work harder or spend more hours writing prompts. The real solution is to work smarter by shifting your whole mindset from pure effort over to structure.
We've all heard it a million times, right? Just write better prompts. But when it comes to comics, that's actually pretty unhelpful advice. It's only half the story. A good prompt for a comic panel isn't just a cool description. It's like a mini blueprint that has to juggle the character's identity, their pose, the setting, and keep it all consistent. It's a lot.
So here's the real fix. It's a 3-part shift in how you think. First, stop thinking about single images. Start thinking in sequences. Second, and this is the big one, create and reuse character anchors. This is like a unique ID for your character that you use every time. Finally, use prompt frameworks. That way, you're not starting from scratch with every panel, you just have a template where you swap out the action, but the character anchor stays locked in.
And the real benefit of all this, it gets rid of that horrible decision fatigue, that feeling of being totally drained from making 1,000 tiny fixes. When you have a solid structure, you can stop wasting all that mental energy and pour it back into the fun parts, the story, the action, the emotion.
Because at the end of the day, this whole thing should be fun. You're supposed to feel like an artist creating something, not an engineer trying to debug some code. It's all about getting back to that initial spark of excitement that made you start in the first place.
So just think about all that time and energy you've been spending fighting the tool, endlessly tweaking prompts, re-rolling images again and again.
And instead, imagine putting all of that amazing creative energy right back into your story, into building your world and bringing your characters to life. That's what this is all about.
I absolutely love this because it's so true. Once structure carries the technical weight, creating gets fun again. It's that simple. Let a good system handle the boring technical stuff, and the process becomes joyful again. And honestly, that's exactly how it should feel.
So if you've been nodding along this whole time, feeling that frustration deep in your bones, the only real question is, are you ready to change your approach and get back to the joy of just creating?
If you are ready to make that change, and you'd rather not have to build all these systems from scratch yourself, then you should absolutely check out Hero Comics AI. It's a tool that's been designed specifically for storytelling structure. It handles the character anchors and panel flow for you automatically. It was literally built so you can stop fighting the tech and finally just tell your story.